Hey, my name is Bo, and today I want to talk about spirituality, money, and business, and how these things can be tied together. I know when I started my journey of entrepreneurship, I wanted to make sure that I was doing things in an ethical way, in a way that was aligned with my spiritual belief systems, aligned with my faith. I always wanted to do things in the right way, and I know that if you're getting into business, entrepreneurship, there's a lot of teachings out there that may seem unethical to you. And I've been on a mission to try to balance these two things, try to balance my spirituality with entrepreneurship and business and making money. And I want to share with you 4 principles today that you can follow in business and entrepreneurship that will allow you to do it in an ethical way, in a way that is not against any of your spiritual or religious beliefs whatsoever. So, number 1, let's rip this off here. Trying to add a little suspense just to keep you watching. Stick around to the end. Got some exciting things coming for you. So number 1 is selfless service. There's a lot of ways to do business. We can do business out of our greed and our desire to accumulate more for ourselves, or we could see it as a service. If you think about it, to create a business, to run a business, it is self-sacrifice in a way, because you're going to have to do things that are not always comfortable, things that you don't always want to do. You have to do for the sake of the business. And also, business is all about serving other people. People are not going to pay you unless you have something that is of benefit to them. And that's why business can be a spiritual practice in and of itself, because business requires you to be selfless in many cases. It requires you to step outside of your own desires and to put yourself in other people's shoes and to think about what is best for them, what is best for the customer, what is best for the client, how can I deliver the best experience possible for them, how can I get them the best results. And we can do this out of our need to please other people, or we can do it out of a genuine desire to be of service. You genuinely desire to offer the best product, the best service, the best experience for your customer or client. And if you have that intention, then business can become a spiritual practice. Number 2, surrendered action. Surrendered action. This is another way you can transform business and entrepreneurship and making money into a spiritual practice. See it as an opportunity to practice surrendered action. Business requires you to get out of your comfort zone often, to be a leader in this world. You're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, that are difficult, things that you wouldn't ordinarily do maybe. And so you have to learn how to take action, but do it in a surrendered state. Otherwise, it's going to feel very, very difficult to take that action. You're going to be very stressed on the journey, and that's why a lot of entrepreneurs are burnt out and they're tired of their business and they don't even enjoy it, because they haven't learned how to surrender to the process. And so as a spiritually aligned person or someone with a strong faith, a desire to do things in the right way, you actually have a huge advantage in business, because through surrender, you can learn how to take massive action, but do it without all the stress that is ordinarily associated with massive action. So surrender basically just means to let go of the outcomes, forget about the results of what you do, and focus solely on what you do. Focus on the process. Surrender to what you're doing in the present moment. For example, me making this video, I can surrender to the process of making this video without thinking about how many views this video is going to get, who's going to like it, who's not going to like it, who's going to judge me. I could think about all those things, but that would be being attached to the outcome. And so part of being an effective and successful entrepreneur is learning how to surrender to the process of what you're doing. And you'll find that you get much better results by doing this, because you're going to be able to take more action, because it feels a lot easier when you're surrendered, and you're going to be able to be at peace within yourself while you're taking action. So you can stay true to your spirituality, to your faith, while moving forward and making money and doing good in your business. Now, number 3, we have so much suspense. Overflowing abundance. So we have to face the fact that business is about making money. Money is the lifeblood of a business. And so you are in the business of making money, whether you like that or not. But we can purify that process, if you will, by seeing it as, again, a service, because we're not just making this money to accumulate it for ourselves and to hoard it. We're making it so that we can have an overflow in our life. So as we become better in business and we make more and more money, we eventually get to the point where we have an excess of money, where we have more than we need for ourselves. And that's the overflow. Now you have this overflow of abundance. And now the question is, what do you do with that? You see, it's not money that's good or bad. It's what you do with your money that makes it either constructive or destructive. So you could waste this overflow on things that are not really going to add value to your life or make the world any better. Or you can use this overflow to do the good things you want to do, to build things that benefit humanity, that benefit other people, to donate to charity, to give back to the world in some way. And that is another way you can turn your business into a selfless service, by taking the overflow and giving it back to the world and helping the world become a better place through that. Finally, we have stewardship. So stewardship versus ownership. We can see our money and our possessions and the things we accumulate in life. We can see those as something we own, which would be to be attached to them. And the core of many spiritual teachings is non-attachment, right? That's the goal, is to be in the world, but not be attached to things in the world. By having an intention to be a steward rather than an owner, we can avoid that attachment that is the root of suffering. Stewardship basically just means to care for something, to look after something. We don't see our possessions as something we own. We see it as a resource, something that we can use to do certain things in the world, but it's not ours to possess and to control. Realize that the money that comes into your life is going to go out. The possessions you have are going to be gone someday. You could build a massively successful business and you could still lose it someday. So if you see yourself as a steward rather than an owner, that can prevent you from getting attached to things. And if you're not attached to things, you're not going to be broken when things leave you, when your money goes down, or when your business fails, or you go bankrupt, or something moves out of your life. You're not going to be so affected by it because you realize that you never possessed it or owned it in the first place. It was never yours. You were just the person looking after it for a temporary period of time. Now, if you're someone who considers yourself to be spiritually aligned and you desire to be an entrepreneur or start a business, specifically helping other people, being a coach, an influencer, a mentor of some kind, if that's something that you're interested in, go to paidtobringpeace.com, because I have a free course there for you and a community that will help you be successful on that journey if that's something you're interested in. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.